What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, I want to talk about two fighters and the potential fight between two of these four fighters coming up in the future and what should be next. Now, I'm talking about Jared Anderson and Efe Ajagba. So, looking at Efe Ajagba's fight, it was actually a good competitive fight. You know, he and this guy, Guido, they have sparred in the past. And of course, they both come to the fight wanting to win, believing they have the advantage over the other. Now, one thing I can tell you about sparring is it depends on what's going on. You know, if it's a particular purpose for the sparring, other than just keeping sharp. If both guys just went there to fight, there's no real game plan going on. It's not a preparation for this fight. It's just you guys are in there and, you know, whatever happens, happen. But it doesn't necessarily mean you win the actual fight when it counts. And it also could mean it. So it's no one particular thing that it is. Guido started out the first 3 rounds looking sharp. As far as, well, he looked better than Efe, let me put it that way. He was, catching Efe. He won those first 3 rounds, in my opinion. He hurt Efe, I think, the second round. He hurt him a couple of times in the fight, but it really showed, when he knocked him across the ring. He jumped on him. He smothered his punches. He was desperate. Now, Efe starts to come back in, the 4th round. He starts, winning these rounds. But it was a competitive fight. And basically, it was better than the main event. And I felt like Efe started coming back, working behind his jab, started working the uppercuts, and he started to fight smarter. Now, he had the bruised, swollen, right eye. It's boxing, man. It happens, and he boxed. Efe didn't go in there with the seek and destroy mentality. He boxed, and he won. Now, to be honest with you, regardless to how people had the fight scored, if you had it 6 to 4 for Efe, however you had the fight scored, you understand what I mean? That's how I had it scored. I really couldn't see. I mean, and you don't know how to judge the scoring, so it doesn't even matter. It doesn't really matter. The bottom line is Efe won the fight. They had the fight scored closer than I did, a little closer than I did. But here's the thing. This guy, Guido, is actually better than the way he's ranked. Because on paper, for example, if you look at rankings and you look at his record, like who he's fought, people really felt like Efe was this was gonna be a fight that made Efe look good. That's not what happened though. This was a tough fight. Efe won the fight, but it was a tough fight. So when I'm watching this fight, now the fact that him and Jared Anderson is on the same card, I'm watching it, and at the same time, I'm just checking out I forgot who was watching the fight, but I'm just looking at comments and this, I don't go from channel to channel to channel. That's a process I do to get comments to see what people are saying in regards to fairness and who they're leaning towards. So I look at the fight itself, then I compare it to what people are saying, and fanboys are gonna be fanboys. But at the end of the day, when I look at that fight, I left a comment on somebody's channel, whoever it was. I don't remember the guy's name. I recognize the face. He used to do fight hype videos. But I just left a comment saying that if both guys are successful tonight, they should fight each other. Okay. And basically, people, you get a comment, people understand, that makes sense. That's why not? And they're on the same card. Why not? So everybody that just saw Jared Anderson just saw Efe. Why not? You know, now somebody left a comment. They said that they think that Efe is too slow. Well, could be, but the point is, let's see. Different comments, where you have people that had Jared Anderson on his high, where they felt like, because they're calling him the next big thing in the heavyweight division from America. And let me tell you, okay, good fight between Efe and Guido. Efe got the job done in a tough fight. Now, because you may not know who Guido is, you may say, oh, this guy isn't even that good. You don't have to be well known to actually be a good fighter. That's what you're trying to get, is the notoriety, so you can get the big fights. Well, Efe's opponent was far better than Jared Anderson's opponent. So this guy, Riyad Murray, right? He didn't come to fight. He came to just get a paycheck. I'm not surprised. The guy says before the fight, you see, the bullet points that I bring up in my videos, a lot of times people they don't understand you, because casuals are casuals. I said, and I emphasize the fact that this man already sat here and said he has nothing to prove. Everything is all on Jared Anderson. I have nothing to prove. In fact, I'm campaigning as a bridgerweight. Do you understand? He told you before the fight, and those very words right there, that bottom line, he is not coming to prove anything. He's coming in this ring to earn a paycheck, and that's what he showed you. He's 5'9". He doesn't feel comfortable fighting on the inside. He didn't know how to get on the inside. He fought the whole fight on the outside on the back foot. A 5'9" guy versus a guy 6'4". So that goes to show you, not only is he not skillful, but the strength, what works to his advantage, is to try to get in and get in close where Jared can't get his shots off the way he needs to, and he can't keep him on the end of his long shots. He didn't try to do that, not one time. He was going backwards the whole fight. Now, it was a very, very boring fight, yes. And I'm watching Jared Anderson. Now, if the guy commits and starts to open up, then we have a fight, right? We can't really say what would have happened. We got to go by what did happen. The last round, when he started to open up some, he started to catch Jared in the last round. But Jared, the thing is, okay, Jared showed the inability to be able to just pressure this guy and put it on him and land some shots. Jared was trying to pick his spots. He couldn't land anything significant. Vice versa. Neither guy did anything. So I know that people are going, oh yeah, but it's Riyad's fault because he didn't come to fight and he just tried to survive. Yeah, he did. But here's my thing. You are 250 freaking pounds, 6'4". He showed that, no, the hand speed isn't what you think it is. I told you guys, he's not really a big puncher. He's a big guy. He has size, but he's not like a devastating puncher. Jared is an accumulation puncher, regardless to his size. Jared needs to step up in competition. And when you can't punish a guy that's not coming to fight, make him fight back. This is my point. He tried to make him fight back in the sense of trying to outbox him. Okay, he did that. He won every round. Some judge gave him 1 round, gave Murray 1 round. Probably was the last one. But I didn't give him any rounds. It was a complete shutout. So, yeah, Jared did that. He shut him out. Tim Bradley, the whole fight, keeps talking about how Jared Anderson is a work in progress. You haven't seen the finished product yet. Okay, we could say the same thing about Devin Haney, who's been a champion since he was 20 years old. Turned pro at 17. I mean, so we can say the same thing. There's several fighters we can say that about. You understand what I'm saying to you? So when we talk about someone not being a finished product, yeah, but this same guy that's not a finished product says right now he beat Deontay Wilder, right? So when I did that video, notice my choice of words. Who wins this fight right now? I didn't say 2 years from now, 3 years from now, which according to Jared Anderson, he doesn't plan on being here. But I didn't say anything about later, right now. And then he makes a video. I didn't make my video because of him. I didn't see his video. I saw his video after I made the video when I said, who wins this fight right now, right? Then I said, okay, wow. I don't know if I made the video or the idea of making the video first. I don't remember if I did that first or if maybe I had this idea of comparing because people are saying he's the next big thing. Like right now that he's the right. So my thing was, well, for him to do that, coming from America. So for him to do that, well, the only heavyweight that really has any real notoriety from America right now is Deontay. So that means they're going to have what you call a passing the torch fight, or is he just going to surpass Wilder? You know, like what's going to happen? How does he get that? Or is it because, well, Deontay retires, now he's the only thing that's left in America? Like, what, you know, as American heavyweight, how does this work? So I don't know. But bottom line is, when I did the video, my choice of words was who wins right now. So when I do a video for anyone, and I'm saying right now, my point is it's self-explanatory. I'm not saying what happens if this guy develops and gets better or 5 years. No, right now. Jared Anderson says he beats Deontay Wilder right now. Right? Wilder can't beat him. Okay. Great that you have the confidence. I'm saying I have not seen enough from Jared Anderson to rank him as high as he wants to be ranked, or as high as his fan base wants him to be ranked. I don't do favoritism. Realistically, he's fought nothing but C-level fighters. That's all he's been fighting, C and D level guys. And I told you, he loves fighting small guys or guys that's just big and out of shape. So my thing is, your best win is a washed-up Charles Martin who took a fight on short notice because he was a replacement. He needs a step-up fight. Okay, he won his fight. Efe Ajagba won his fight. What reason do you have, does anybody have, to say Efe and Jared should not be next for each other? Why not? And it will be a step up for both guys because, for one, ever since Efe lost to Frank Sanchez, he's won every fight since then, but he's won no fights that puts him in a position where people are talking about him versus Wilder or him versus AJ or him versus Joseph Parker. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or Fury or Usyk. And that's where you want to get. So what reason would you have to not have this fight happen? And when I read the comments of a lot of these fans, they're doing the same things that a lot of these fighters are doing. Pick and choose who they want to see this guy fight based on, well, he don't have to fight him because he'll beat him. Oh, he's too slow for him. Oh, he wouldn't be. That's nonsense. This is how you gain experience, fighting different styles. Now, Jared just fought a much shorter guy, and the guy didn't come to fight. So this is something that he can work on. You know, when a guy doesn't come to fight and he's not throwing any punches, he's barely throwing anything back, you can punish him. Punish him to his hips, punish him to his elbows, punish him to his shoulders. Okay, if you can't get the head. Either, and you know what'll happen is the referee will either say, listen, man, you got to show me something, I'm going to stop the fight. Why? Simply because the guy's not punching. It'll happen. Okay? If he's standing there and he's just getting pounced on, his corner will stop the fight. Okay? The fight was boring. People were leaving. I don't know who saw the fight, but me watching it, I noticed as the rounds went on and the camera's panning the crowd and you see the back from the camera, you see the fan started to see empty seats. Like, people were leaving the fight. They were leaving. Okay? And Jared Anderson, you got to understand something. This is a guy whose heart is not into this sport. And I believe that they think that if he just keeps winning fights, that's going to, and people will start saying things like he's the next big great American heavyweight, and they start putting hype behind him, that he'll find himself in a situation. that he didn't really do anything special to earn. Like, for example, when you hear him say he doesn't need a title to validate him. I just watched two guys fight, and then that was way bigger than the guys who fought in their division in the championship fight and things of that nature. Well, he also can look at Deontay Wilder and say, well, look at who Wilder fought. And then he wound up being a champion. And then even though Wilder has a weak resume, everybody knows that, he ends up still fighting Fury in a title fight. He ends up fighting him 3 times. Now he ends up in a fight with Parker regardless, right? So Jarrett seems to have this mentality of, since this guy did this, why can't I? But I want to do everything other than be champion. You understand what I mean? I just want the money. I'll tell you something. You guys got to think about this. When you have a fighter that doesn't fight for a living, like this guy has his own construction company or he owns businesses, so he's doing good financially, but he also boxes on the side, right? This guy may be called in as a sacrificial lamb. He fights here and there. He's not been fighting real stiff competition, right? Now he goes in there and gets an old veteran guy and gets a win, and everybody goes, oh, okay, he beat such and such. Let me explain something to you guys. When that guy gets in there with the A-level guys, B-level guys, he really starts fighting the top competition. That guy, you'll see the lack of experience, the lack of skill levels, the lack of ring IQ. You will see it. And you got to also understand, when you go home from your job, you run a business, and you go home and you're sleeping good, and you got these fighters that's hungry. They don't have a career outside of boxing. So when you're sleeping, when you're on vacation, laughing up with the family, begging champagne glasses, you know what those fighters are doing there in the gym training. Even if it's 3, 4, 5 in the morning while you're sleeping, they're training. They don't have anything to fall back on. What do you think happens when you're in a fight? Your ribs are sore, your arms are tired, your shoulders are sore. You understand what I'm saying? You don't know if your jaw is broken or not. Your nose is bleeding, your eyes are swollen up. What do you think a guy like that is going to do in the long run? He's going to quit. I got something else to fall back on, man. I don't need this shit. I don't need this. Okay, let me live to fight another day. And other guys in savage mode. You understand what I'm saying? Because he doesn't have, all right, fuck it, I got my own construction company. Hey, I make 6 figures without boxing. So hell, you know what? I want to get 7 figures. I'm not coming to boxing for 6 figures. I'm coming for 7 figures, right? But the money I make helps here and there. So I fight sporadically. Versus a guy that doesn't have nothing to fall back on. That guy's like, nah, man, fuck this. I'm going to go. I can't see. But hey, unless the ref stop it, unless my corner stop it, I don't want them. We're going to keep going. So when it comes down to it, what you think you might do, you might find out that the reality smacks you. Hey, what are you doing? Live to fight another day. You got 2 little girls home, man. Hey, bro, come on. You own businesses. You don't need it. You'll make it up in your mind to quit. Jared Anderson, let's say this. No, Riyadh didn't come to fight. He came to survive. Like I told you. He told you that before the fight even happened. I have nothing to prove. What did I say? He already fighting the guy that's already defeated. The guy's not coming to win. Okay? But Jared Anderson didn't punish this little guy. This little 5'9", I'm just going to tuck myself in the corner. He was comfortable. He's just standing there. He's waiting. Jared's waiting. Nothing's going on. Jared won the fight, but Jared, and yes, it's more difficult to look good fighting a guy that comes to survive. Okay, he's not giving you anything. But once again, Jared didn't punish this guy. Jared didn't put it on him. Jared did not look like the next big thing from anywhere. Okay? Jared showed you that he doesn't know how to create shots. He doesn't have the speed to even get these shots there. He's fighting a smaller guy in height, much shorter guy in height. But at the same time, it's like, where's the uppercuts? You notice when this guy, if you didn't see the fight, Murray had a tendency to, when Jared would throw a shot, he moved back and he sloped down. Like he's going straight down. No uppercuts are coming. He has short arms, so even if he tries to retaliate, more likely he's going to miss. And Jarrett himself pulls straight back. He literally jumps back. So when he jumps back, if you rush in, he'll try to counter with the overhand right. Jarrett switched southpaw orthodox through the whole fight. He just kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's not a tactic that's going to work if the guy's not letting his hands go. So I'm saying, why the hell is he switching back and forth? It just made no sense. Other than, yeah, he's frustrated. He's trying to get a reaction, but he's not. Also, he's trying to find a way to find openings, and he couldn't. So when I say, now don't get me wrong, Jarrett is a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. Yes. But when I tell you, if he fights Deontay, more than likely he wins on points. Or Deontay knocks Jarrett out. Because to be perfectly honest with you, Jarrett makes mistakes. He's there to get hit. He's not defensively solid like people try to make it sound, but he is all around a better boxer than Wilder is. But I'm just not sold on, he definitely beats Wilder. I'm just not. Because even if he's outboxing Wilder, when he does open up, he does get hit. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's easy to say that shit, but watching this guy, listen, we know Wilder likes to go backwards, right? And just kind of wait and wait. Like on that, he just kind of waits. I don't mean trying to fight backwards so much. Wilder is just backing up and waiting. He's using his jab. He's circling around you. If Wilder was in there with this guy, and this guy's not throwing punches, right? Now, tactically, Wilder is not sound. He doesn't have a good ring IQ. But nobody's saying for Jarrett to go and throw 100 punches around. Well, I'm saying you're jabbing. Whip shots to his hips, man. Whip shots to his elbow. See, people don't understand. The things that worked in the past will still work now. Do you understand what I'm saying? These fighters they're not being taught these things. Because if you're hitting this guy, let me explain something to you. What do they always tell you? A wounded animal is dangerous, right? It's even more dangerous because now it's fighting for survival for its life. Where it might have been initially, get away from me. Now it's like, okay, I'm hurt. I'm going all out. If you start hurting this guy, damn, this dude is he's banging my hips up. My legs are starting. I can't move around the way I want to. Okay, damn, and the shots are getting through. He's working off that jab. You understand what I'm saying to you? You're hitting these arms. You're beating his up. At some point, he's either going to quit on his stool or he's going to fight back because he's going to start to feel the effects. And the guy has no footwork. You understand what I mean? And when he did start to try to throw some shots here and there, what did he do? Exactly what I told you. I watched him fight. He throws a lot of wild shots. He leads with the left hook and everything comes, right? This is the way the guy fights. And you didn't see Jarrett Anderson do any of those things. There was a couple of times where his corner is telling him things and he's kind of like giving his take on things. And it's like he was complacent with winning the fight the way he did. And of course, the guy didn't come to fight. He wasn't throwing anything, Yeah, you're right. He did. And most of the blame is on that guy for not fighting back. But what I'm saying is you didn't see. Let your hands go, man. You're in shape, right? Let your hands go. Give this guy a reason to fight back. Make him fight back. It will be one thing, usually when guys are not fighting back and they're running, okay, that's one thing. He wasn't running from Jarrett Anderson. He just wasn't fighting back. They were at a stalemate several times, and Jarrett Anderson just couldn't figure anything out. So this guy is not even ranked. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be funny. The guy's from Belgium. You don't know anybody that the guy even fought. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it's like when you watch him, if you go watch his fights, you see this guy. It's like when you watch the first thing you think, yeah, Jarrett's going to kill this guy. He should anyway. But if you watch, I've never seen I went back and watched some fights to this guy, and I've never seen the guy show up and not fight back like that. Okay, so the guy didn't come to win. You as a fighter, your corner seaters, he's not trying to win. Punish him. You don't have to be careless to punish. You don't have to be careless. Like I said, nobody's saying be reckless and just start throwing wild punches, but no, strategically break him down. And Jarrett shows you he doesn't know how to do that. He doesn't have that. So now when you look at it, when I say he's a decent fighter, Jared Anderson has potential. He does have some boxing skill, but it goes to show you that he's not a guy who has that type of IQ and an understanding. He's not a ring technician, not yet. Anyway, if he's gonna become one, which I doubt because he doesn't want to stick around. Okay, when you don't have that, it doesn't matter how much your fans like you and how much your fans will say, "Oh yeah, he's this and he's that and he's gonna do this." That's all fine. It sounds good, but you even to say he's a better boxer than Deontay doesn't mean, oh, he's a really, really great boxer or really good. No, it doesn't take much to be a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. But Deontay can catch your ass slipping and get you out of there. And this is what I'm saying. I cannot sit here and say I feel confident that he'll just walk in there and beat Deontay. And I'm saying yes, on points, Anderson all day. If it goes the distance. But I'm not sure it goes the distance. This is what I'm saying. So either way, he has to do more. And let me say this, okay? We know Wilder is a one-trick pony with the right hand. But Jared Anderson isn't a great boxer. He's a decent boxer. Like someone asked me in the comment section, one of the family asked me, do I think that, say if Wilder beats Jared Anderson, that would be the biggest win on his resume? And my response to that was a great question too, because my response to that was, I'm not sure. And the reason is because Luis Ortiz was a decent boxer. He had his flaws too. But can we say right now that Jared Anderson is better than Luis Ortiz was? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You understand? I don't know. And to be perfectly honest with you, I could see Jared Anderson getting hit by Luis Ortiz often. A washed up old Charles Martin was able to do it. So the Luis Ortiz that we seen fight against Wilder, that version of Luis Ortiz, any version of Luis Ortiz, okay? What I'm saying is, can we say Jared Anderson is better than him? I don't know that. You understand? So Luis Ortiz has a Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz has more of a technical savvy, a better technical savvy than Jared does. But Jared, physical gifts are greater than Luis Ortiz with working behind his jab, staying, keeping it long. But I feel like defensively, that's where Jared Anderson, the one of the biggest differences between Luis Ortiz and Jared Anderson is defensively. Okay. They both get hit. Although I think Jared probably takes a punch. I see, this is the thing. I don't know if he takes a big punch, how good he can take a big shot. Because I haven't seen him get nailed by anybody that has big power. But we know that Luis Ortiz doesn't have the best beard. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel like I haven't seen anybody really rock Jared Anderson. But Luis Ortiz is another guy with a weak resume. So even though he's a better boxer than Deontay Wilder and can clearly outbox Wilder, he still got knocked out twice the same way. So I really don't know. And after watching that fight last night, this is my point, what I'm saying. You see, he won every round. So it's not like, oh, he struggled with the guy. No, he didn't struggle. He won every single round. He just could not do anything. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't show anything. He didn't turn up. He didn't try anything other than, let me play it safe. Now, if you're playing it safe with a guy who's not a big puncher, okay, a guy who didn't even come to win, what type of attack would you have against Deontay Wilder, who can punch with the right hand? You understand what I'm saying? So it's easy to say, oh, he'll do this, he'll do that. I just don't feel that confident in Jared Anderson. And not to mention, the guy's heart is not in it. So if Deontay does crack him, and drop him and hurt him, who knows if he wants to continue? Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. Now, because Wilder lacks ring savvy, ring IQ, real boxing ability, he might get up, survive that shit. He might not go down. Who knows? But bottom line is, if he gets hurt, and let's say he gets hurt again, you understand what I'm saying to you? He just might quit. He just might quit. You got to understand, the guy's telling you he doesn't love boxing. Listen, it's different. Let's say you don't love basketball. What would really be the test for you is when you get fatigued, when you get mental frustration, and people see you break down. We've seen great players break down and fall apart and lose games and blame the teammates. We've seen LeBron do it. We've seen Kobe do it. You understand what I'm saying? We've seen players break down. The difference in boxing is you are in a position where you can die in that ring. You can leave there with broken ribs or broken jaw. You understand what I mean? You can really get hurt or killed in the ring. So what I'm saying is, when you are in a position where you're fighting through pain, you're fighting in a situation where, man, is it really worth it just to say I won? What happens if you break your hand in the fight? You understand what I'm saying? Like things of that nature. So we don't know how Jared Anderson is going to react when he finally steps up and fight top level competition. And what I'm saying is, there is no way that Jared Anderson should be ranked amongst Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Joseph Parker, guys like that, without going through a Frank Sanchez and Efe Ajagba. You know, and look, Frank Sanchez beat Efe when they fought, and he beat him, like, made it look easy, dropped him and everything. So what I'm saying is, you're getting a fighter that's not as good as Frank Sanchez, but was in there with him and was on the same card as you. So this would be still a step up fight for Jared Anderson. Okay, and I believe strongly Efe Ajagba beats Charles Martin. Charles Martin is done. You understand what I'm saying? Charles Martin's not even ranked anymore. like who ranks Charles Martin? So what I'm saying is, when you look at, you know, what's in front of you, and people from the outside looking in want to imagine a fight happening a certain way, you may think that Efe Ajagba is too slow for Jared, but at the same time, Jared Anderson has been fighting nothing but C-level guys. So when you step up, that's when we see how good you are. And until he does that, I don't see him beating. There's several guys I don't see him beating. Until he fights and beats them, that's when we know. Once again, your desire, your determination will determine how far you go. It's not all just physicality. Mentally, okay? Mentally, boxing is all. Let me tell you something. It's every bit as mental as it is physical. Because, like I said, when you have to fight through pain, you end up in a situation that you just didn't foresee happening before the fight happens, and all of a sudden now you can get cut in the first round. Eyelid split open, blood constantly in your eye. I mean, all that. How can we say how Jared Anderson will respond when we've never seen him have to go through that? And when you fight top level guys, things are going to be different. And this is what I'm saying. So yes, even though Wilder is not the most skilled guy, and we know he's very limited, still in all, he's fought the same level of competition that Jared Anderson has been fighting. You see what I'm saying? But Wilder at least did have the step-up fights against Fury, against Parker. Jared hasn't fought anybody on that level yet. You understand what I mean? And one thing about Wilder, we saw with Fury that, okay, even when he's hurt, even when he's in a position of the fight's not going his way, he still will try to knock you out. Now, looking at the Joseph Parker fight, we can't focus on the Fury fight. We got to look at his last performance. You know what I mean? So if we go by that, go by their last performances, it's like, okay, I still would pick Jared Anderson in terms of the fight going the distance, because Jared at least was boxing back, was fighting back. And like I said, it's not like Wilder is ring savvy and knows how to, okay, I'm a technician here. I know how to cut this guy off. I know how to stop this guy. I know how to, you know, set traps for him and make him fall into what I want him to do. Wilder just goes in and just tries to knock you out from the very first round. The first punch, sometime right off the bat, jab right hand, right from the very beginning. Okay, but Wilder, the point with that is, Jarrett shows that he'll lay back and negotiate with you. He'll lay back and not let his hands go. He showed you that last night. So you can't sit here and act like that fight didn't happen. Yeah, but the guy didn't fight. But yeah, we know that. But there was nothing coming, nothing from Jarrett. And you know, somebody made the comment about, oh, but remember when Larry Holmes fought Holyfield? Holmes fought back. Holmes spent a lot of time on the ropes. And yeah, Holyfield was trying to find a way to get in. And Larry Holmes was on the ropes, jabbing and moving, and he gave him a fight. Yeah, that was not even a good comparison, though. That wasn't even a good comparison because Holmes didn't come in there to survive. He tried to win. Holyfield won the fight. He cut Holyfield. Remember that. Right over here. Right over there. Split him open real nasty, right? But bottom line is he fought back. So I don't understand that comparison. That person that made that comment made it sound like Holyfield went there and just didn't fight back. Okay, once again, Holyfield is like 206 pounds. Okay, or whatever he was in that fight. Holmes is still a lot heavier than Holyfield. My point is, Jared Anderson, like somebody called him the next Riddick Bowe. Oh, hell no. Stop playing. You don't know shit about boxing if you think Jared Anderson is anywhere close to what Riddick Bowe was. You got to stop that bullshit, okay? Riddick Bowe's problem didn't last too long. Riddick Bowe already was developing brain damage at 28 years old, and he retired at 28. So I don't know where you guys get this, like these comparisons. Like, I mean, what are you talking about? His height, his build? That's about it. His skill level was nowhere near what Riddick Bowe's was. By no stretch of the mind was he anywhere close to Riddick Bowe. So I don't even know where that came from. Jared Anderson, he's just not his, he's not, boxing is not his life. And that right there, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how much you like him as a fighter. I like Jared as a fighter. But the potential that he has, his mind is not focused on boxing. It's just a waste of talent. And where he could absorb more information, when you have an interest in something, you go after it. You improve in it because you want to make sure you understand what you're supposed to be doing and that you have all bases covered. You can't do that when your heart is not into something and you feel like, I don't want to do this. I don't love this. This is all about the money. The same way Murray came, Riyad Murray came to collect the paycheck, came to survive. Jarrett could find himself in that same situation when he's in a fight and things are not going his way. Now, let me ask you something. You really think what we seen in Jared Anderson that he beat Daniel Dubois? Do you think what we seen in Jared Anderson that he'll beat Anthony Joshua? Do you think what we seen in Jared Anderson that he'll beat Usyk or Tyson Fury? Do you think what we seen in Jared Anderson that he beats Joseph Parker? This is what I'm saying. So before you get to that, you got to go through the Frank Sanchez's. You got to go through the Efe Ajagbas. You got to have that a part of your legacy and resume. You cannot just go skip up there because you're saying I'm better than these guys. And you go in there with a 5'9", guy that came from cruiserweight, obviously doesn't pack heavyweight power, and is saying he wants to campaign as a bridgerweight, which means the 230 something that he came in, 235, whatever it was, he came in, put extra weight on, I guess, to try to bulk up for the Jared Anderson fight, to have more punch resistance, okay? But otherwise, the guy's talking about he's campaigning as a bridgerweight, so that means he'll be down from 230, whatever he was, to 220 something. Look, he's 5'9". You see these guys that keep talking about how these heavyweights are different, they're bigger. Mike Tyson would like Mike Tyson wouldn't have been strong enough or big enough. Man, Mike Tyson would destroy these freaking heavyweights, man. These dudes are not, look, let me explain something to you guys, man. When you are someone who's vicious, I don't care if you're a boxer, if you're a brawler. Larry Holmes in his prime was vicious. Larry tried to knock your ass out. Even if the knockout didn't come, Larry would try to punish you. Okay, Larry was no play toy in that ring. When you come into a boxing ring, you don't even have 20 fights yet. You're talking about you're better than the top guys, but you haven't fought anybody that was even a top level fighter. Trying to get attention to yourself is one thing. At some point, people are going to start saying, hey, listen, when are you going to have a step up fight? When are you going to actually fight someone that's worth anything? Now, if a question comes out about Jared Anderson versus whoever, who wins right now, we go by your last performance. Bro, you had people walking out the arena. They were leaving. Lots of people left. And if you haven't seen the fight, just pay attention to the crowd when the camera's panning the crowd and even just angles from them fighting. Watch how you start noticing you seeing several seats empty. People were leaving. Okay? That's not going to give you star power. This was a boring fight. This is a fight that basically, the same way Shakur had that horrible fight last time, and he needs to step up and either rematch that guy, and all the talking he was doing, back it up, or he has to redeem himself. He has to do something to get the crowd not so much to forget about that fight, because the highlights or the fight itself is always there, but to say, okay, yeah, I had a fight where I didn't look so good, but I'm back. Jared Anderson needs that. We're not going to just say, oh, the guy didn't come to fight. No, he didn't. But once again, Jared didn't punish him. He didn't do anything to break him down and show I'm that guy. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to break him down. I'm going to punish him. I'm going to make him quit. He could at least did that. He didn't do that. If he would have, if he could have, he would have. So there's no reason that him and Efe shouldn't fight next. Efe won his fight. Jared won his fight. You need to step up. Efe needs to step up. You think that Turkey or anybody is really looking at Jared Anderson going, we got to get this guy in the card. And the fact that he already is talking about not, loving boxing and not wanting to stick around for maybe another 2 years, and that's it. I mean, who's going to take him serious? And after that type of performance, people are going to say, yeah, I see why nobody wants to work with this guy, or why he's not getting the fights that he wants to be. And people talk about the next top heavyweight. He's going to build a resentment from the fans. That's what he's going to do. He's going to get the fans to look at him like this guy's a hype job. And they're going to... So, if he fights someone else other than Efe in his next fight, and it's some meatball, another meatball, what did this do for this guy? What does it do? The same way Wilder has all these knockouts, it's like I've been saying, yeah, but against who? Same thing. He can keep winning fights, but against who? Now you need to step up. This guy you just fought was a step down from Charles Martin. Do you see what I'm saying? He went backwards, not forwards. So it's easy to say he'll beat Efe. He may very well beat Efe. Prove it. Get in the ring, make the fight happen. This is my point. So, go forward. Frank Sanchez, ever since he beat Charles Martin, it's like he went backwards. I mean, not Charles Martin, since he beat Efe. He went backwards. And I don't think it's Frank Sanchez's fault. I think in his team and the fact Frank is such a threat, people don't want to fight the guy. And it's like he's taking whatever fights he can. Jared Anderson, when he, my thing is when you say things like, I can't make these guys fight, are you sending offers to these guys? Because I don't hear any negotiation talk. I don't hear nothing from his team. Nothing. Like I said, I just think Jared think he's going to just fight and win. And because America is, without a dominant heavyweight, Wilder's not a dominant heavyweight. Wilder's, he's the little perch that he was on. He was never alone on the throne. He always was a part of AJ, Fury, Dylan, and White. Like, he's a part of something. He never led anything, okay? His fan base was saying he was that guy, but he never was that guy, okay? How Terrence Crawford stands alone at 147, Jerron Boots Ennis is there, but the fact of the matter is, he can't get the guys that he wants, including Terrence Crawford. He can't get these guys. So they're looking at Terrence Crawford like he's that guy. Nobody never looked at Deontay like that. His fan base tried to say that, but he was never the only champion in the division. Now, at one point, he was never undisputed. He was never on top of the mountain. Again, his name is there with other guys. When you say Terrence Crawford, people automatically say he's the man. You understand what I'm saying? And I think it's unfair that Jerron Boots Ennis can't get a shot. That's extremely unfair, and there's no reason that fight shouldn't happen. But at the end of the day, that's the fight that should happen next. And, Efe just had a solid fight, and that's something you guys got to understand. You're looking at it going, yeah, but Guido hurt him. And right. Guido might fuck around and beat Jared Anderson. You understand what I'm saying? Or let's say Jared wins, but in a fight of his life. Once again, Efe has had tough fights. So he knows how to navigate himself through. We don't know what Jared Anderson would do in a tough fight. Jared Anderson doesn't even know what the fuck he's doing in a tough fight because he's never been in one. That's exactly the point what we're saying. When you step up in competition, that shows you what you're made of. We've all been there. Who out here watching this video jog? Who run? How many times have you ran and got to the point where you like, your lungs are literally burning, your mouth is dry, like literally dry. It kind of stings when you swallow. You know what I'm talking about, right? And you like, nah, I'm not stopping. And you keep going. And it's a team of you. And all of a sudden you turn around, jog backwards and look back and realize everybody's way back there. You understand what I'm saying? And you realize now, all of a sudden your adrenaline kicks in because you realize like, damn, you wasn't thinking about them. You was just trying to finish this run, right? It's not a race, but you like, damn, if I feel like this and I'm way up here, I can imagine what they feel like. That adrenaline kicks in before you know it. You're going. And even when your throat is burning, even you throw your shot, you just keep going and you won't stop. And before you know it, you complete that run and you feel so accomplished. Now, what's the moral of all of that? The moral of that story really is, okay, not just the fact that you overcame it, okay? That's basically, you overcame that adversity that you wanted to quit, but that heart kicked in, that courage kicked in. But, okay, to add on to that, you know you can do it again. The very next time you run and that same thing happens, nah, I got it in me. I did it before. Everybody that was behind it stopped and started walking. Run a little bit more. Start walking. If they keep doing it, at some point, the same thing is going to happen for them. They're going to get to a point where it's like, you know what? I ran 3 miles today. And usually before the 3 miles is up, I stop at least 5 or 6 times. Today I did the whole 3 miles without stopping at all. And they'll keep doing the 3 miles and keep doing the 3 miles. And then one day they're going to go, you know what? Let me see if I could do 4. And every time you see progress, your confidence builds. Now I know I can do 3 with no problem. Damn, now I can do 4. Now I'm doing 5. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever the goal is. One of the things that Tony Harrison said about Alicia Baumgartner, he said that she's a workaholic. She's always in the gym. He said as much as she hated to run, I made her run with me. I don't care what time in the morning it was, whatever. I made her run as much as she hated it. What's the one thing we always say about Alicia Baumgartner? She has issues with her cardio, with her stamina. Once she starts letting her hands go, it's like she just empties the tank out, right? So doesn't it make sense when you hear Tony say that? Yeah, as much as she hated to run, I made her run with me. That's what I'm telling you. Now, at the end of the day, for Jared, his stamina's there, his cardio's there, but then again, he had nothing coming at him. So, and I'm saying that based on other fights, we've seen him fight to the end. We've seen him fight Charles Martin to the end, for example. But, you know, what I'm saying is like, and he was getting hit in that fight. We seen him get tired. It's not that he wasn't tired in this fight. It's just that he had nothing coming at him. There was nothing going on. So how tired should he have been? So where he didn't empty the tank, where he didn't, it's not so much even empty the tank. The fact that he just didn't show the IQ to do anything different. He didn't show any viciousness. He didn't show any ruthlessness. I'm going to punish this guy. He sat back and he didn't do anything, man. And where I'm saying, where his FA got rocked, and let me tell you something. Guido and FA showed a sturdy chin. Both of them was taking some big shots. Both of them. Frank Sanchez could punch. He dropped Efe. Efe got back up, and the fight went the distance. But they both showed a solid chin, and they both know that if they're in a tough fight, that they can keep going. We don't know how Jared Anderson is going to respond when he's in a dogfight, and that's what we're saying. I feel like he's trying to avoid those type of fights. I really believe Jared doesn't want those type of fights. He's talking and he's saying things, but every time he talks, he fights a lesser opponent. And I believe handpicking these guys, hoping it makes him look spectacular, it didn't happen in this fight. I've never seen a fight where he looks spectacular. The reason is because the level of competition he's fighting, when you get these guys out of here, okay, you're supposed to. You're doing your job. They're not on your level. So you can be a big fish in a small pond. That's how I see Jared Anderson. That's what he is. Because that pool of fighters he's in, they're not top-level guys. Now, when you start to step up, when you start feeling pain and getting hurt and beat up in the fight, do you have the heart to do what Efe did last night? Do you have the heart to do what Guido did? Can you come back and do that? So it's easy to say that a guy who's not battle-tested will do something and rise to the occasion. Jared has not shown me, despite what anybody else says about him, he hasn't shown me anything that gives me the confidence in him to say, yeah, he's the next big thing. I don't know. He could be if he dedicates himself and takes it serious and improve. And, to hear he improves every fight after fight. That's what Tim Bradley said. Fight after fight, every fight he improves. Same Jared Anderson. The same Jared Anderson. The guy has skill. He's a decent fighter. But it's more to boxing. It's more to it than the physical. Mentally, I don't think he wants to go through those type of fights. I think he fears those type of fights. He even made a comment about, everybody talking about, when I get in the ring, they want to see me fight, but like, what if something happened to me? I got a daughter, man. He said that. If something happens to me, I got a daughter. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what is he saying? If I go in that ring and get hurt really bad, who's going to take care of my daughter? You understand what I'm saying to you? So maybe even in them saying, let's fight Wilder in 2025. Okay, let's just say, what is the idea? Let's wait, let Wilder get older. Let him look even worse than he did against Parker. Like, what's the idea in that? Right? Now, he says he's ready to fight. He'll beat Wilder right now. Great. Fight Efe Ajagba. Because Efe Ajagba might beat Wilder also. He might also beat Wilder. Fight him. We seen Gerald Washington, Arthur Spilker. There's several guys. We've seen Luis Ortiz. We've seen guys outbox Wilder. Doesn't mean you win the fight, though. That's the point what I'm saying. With this guy, we need to see him step up. I don't think Jared has the heart. I don't think he has the mindset. And I don't care about the tool that he has. It's like you can have a bunch of tools in your garage. Unless you understand how to use them, you have all the tools you need to go fix your car. But unless you know how to use them, basically, you just have a tool, a garage full of tools that you don't know how to use. You understand what I'm saying to you? It's practice, it's training, it's dedication. Okay. You can say what you want about Floyd Mayweather. And I told you these guys before. But like people talking about when they compared Adrian Broner to Floyd, I said, let me tell you something, man. There's many differences between the two. One thing for sure you got to understand, Floyd Mayweather's dedication and the way that dude trains, how in the hell do you think Adrian Broner stands up to Floyd Mayweather? He doesn't have that work ethic. Same thing. If Floyd, when have you ever seen Floyd tired in a fight? Or when have you seen him tired and it showed? His cardio to this day, okay? You look at Floyd and you look at the way he trains, you look at his mindset, and you tell me that you think Adrian, man, he would play with Adrian. He'd make Adrian look like a he looked like it would look like child abuse. He would play with this dude and punish him and make him look stupid. The work ethic is different. The mindset is different. And Floyd doesn't really believe nobody on earth can beat him, dead or alive. Adrian Broner made the comment, I'm not going to keep going, stand at 147 fight these big guys. Like, who made you go to 147? That was your idea. You went up to go fight the Sean Porters of the world. You comparing yourself to Floyd. Floyd came up from, what, 126? So how the hell you going to compete with Floyd and you talking about weight? Floyd going up fighting these guys, and the thing about it is, through all of the, oh, I hate Floyd, let's talk bad about Floyd, and let's praise AB. Well, misconception. People think, oh, AB was as good until they seen what? They fought the same dude in Marcos Maidana. Well, once again, you see the levels. No comparison. There was another comparison someone made. They talked about Devin Haney. Saying how, look at how Devin Haney was a work in progress. You know, when he was calling out Lomachenko and he didn't get that fight 2 years later. And they was comparing him to Jared Anderson in a way of saying Jared Anderson is still a work in progress. So he has time, right? Wait a minute. Let's look at that comparison. And let me show you guys, let me demonstrate how people don't know shit about boxing. And I can tell whoever this person is, I don't remember the name, but they're doing nothing but repeating some shit that they heard from another channel. Or maybe they might have heard something, because Tim Bradley kept saying during the fight that, you know, Jared Anderson is a work in progress. But let me tell you how to show you how people, they don't have a thinking process. First of all, Jared Anderson is what, 25, 20-something, 25, 20, whatever. He's 20, in his 20s. Mid-20s, just say. Devin Haney was a fucking champion at 20. So what are you talking about? When he was calling out Lomachenko, he became the mandatory for Lomachenko. Lomachenko relinquished his title. Devin Haney, okay, was undisputed champion at 23. Which means if you look at Jared Anderson's resume, you can't even compare that shit. This man was undisputed. People to this day, oh, former undisputed champion Vasily Lomachenko. No, he was unified. Former undisputed champion George Kambosos. No. He was unified, not undisputed. Neither one of them. Devin Haney was already champion at 20. Mike Tyson was already champion at what, 20? Floyd Mayweather was champion at 21, 22, whatever it was. Muhammad Ali, 21, 22. Huh? Wilfredo Benitez, 17 years old. You understand what I'm saying? So all of these excuses that people make. Oh, he's a work in progress. See, here's what it is. You like Jared Anderson as a person. So you try to give half-ass criticism, but give lots of praise because you like the guy. It has nothing to do with liking the guy. I like him as a fighter, and I see the potential. But at the same time, he doesn't have the dedication or the mindset for boxing to be successful long-term and become a legend and all. He doesn't care about those things. He doesn't even care about being champion. So what the hell do you think he cared about a legacy? You can't compare that. Devin Haney, and the person said, look at what Devin did to Regis. And Regis is from the streets, and Devin isn't. Once again, what does that have to do with anything? So if you're from the streets, you're automatically a good fighter, a good boxer? Devin Haney doesn't lack heart. That's the bullshit that came out of Regis Prograde's mouth. And the black Jack LaLanne over there, that his fitness trainer or whatever the hell, that they came up with this, you ain't from the streets and you ain't got my struggles, you ain't come from the same struggle, all that bullshit, and he got whitewashed, he got dog walked. So what does that mean? Devin never lacked heart. This is the shit that people try to give him, this preppy boy image, like, oh, he can't fight. But none of these dudes want to fight Devin Haney. So Regis goes in there and gets beat. Your point is debunked by your own point. you debunked your own argument. He went in there and fought a guy that said, you not from the same struggles as me. What he's telling Devin Haney is, I'm a dog. When the fight gets tough, I'm going to turn up. You don't have that in you. What happened? Haney got dropped. What happened? Devin didn't lack heart. No. And it's not just from the streets. It's also, you're not a criminal. You're not an ex-gangbanger. You're not a drug dealer. You understand what all this, none of that makes you a good fighter. You don't need all that. That's bullshit. Okay? You don't need that. Devin doesn't lack boxing skills. He takes pride in his boxing skills. He cares about his legacy. He wants nothing but the big fights. And he's not talking about retiring in 2 years. You understand what I'm saying? Now, that's okay for somebody like AJ, who's 34, saying he wants to retire by the time he's 37, 38. That's okay for somebody like Wilder saying he wants to retire by the time he's 40 and he's already 38 years old. You understand what I'm saying? That's okay. Whenever you decide to retire, okay? Bottom line. Andre Ward retired at, 30, was he 34 or whatever it was? Whenever you retire, you retire. Floyd was 38, Marciano was 32. That's your choice. But what's the difference? They're all well accomplished. Devin Haney could retire right now, and people would say, damn, man, imagine what would have happened if he just kept boxing, right? Because right now, at his age, he's already been undisputed. Then went to 140 and won the title there. You can't even compare Jared Anderson's resume to Devin Haney's or his accomplishments. So that was a stupid comparison. I don't even understand how this person thinks to make that analogy to make it seem like your point was valid. It's dumb. Devin Haney is striving for greatness, and he's already done that and accomplished it, but he's not satisfied. He's not complacent, rather. He's satisfied, did this, okay, cool, accomplishment, but I'm not complacent. Let's keep the ball rolling. Jared Anderson is limiting himself. So how can you even make that comparison? What is the point? That's what I was trying to get. What is the point? You're basing what somebody else say about a fighter versus what another fighter says about himself. So because the Black Jack LaLanne and Regis Prograis says Devin Haney's not a dog, he doesn't have it in him, he's going to quit when the fight gets tough and all this kind of stuff. When have you ever seen Devin Haney quit? And all these guys make the same claims. Devin gets hit in every fight, and I hit way harder than that guy that hurt him. Okay, what happens when they fight him? So even when guys saying, Devin Haney, he likes to get in, throw his shots, then get out. I like to see him sit down on his punches more and bang. Okay, fuck what you want to see Devin do. Devin has to feel comfortable doing that. He has to feel confident to get in there and trust his inside game more. You do what you do to help you win. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I get the point. Yeah, okay, cool. So if he does that, then that shows, yeah, I've improved my inside game as well. But different fighters bring a different threat. So even though you might be a great inside fighter with certain guys, it may be more wise to stay on the outside against certain dudes. Do you understand what I'm saying? So Devin's doing what he's doing, and it got him to become undisputed. You understand what I'm saying? And he's a champion now, 140. And he went there against a guy and won against a guy that people were saying was going to destroy him. Regis hits too hard. Even if Devin is winning, once Regis touch him, it's over. He hits too hard. Regis is this and this. Okay. Now, after he beats Regis is a bum. No. I said from the very beginning, Regis has nothing but a puncher's chance to win because he's not better than Devin at anything. The only thing he does better than Devin, he hits harder. That's it. Punch placement, putting shots together, ring IQ, movement, footwork. He has nothing. Jab. What does he do that Devin's not going to be able to handle? Unless Devin just goes in there and get careless and get stupid. What does Regis have? Then you make it sound like Regis, like Devin can't take a punch. So I don't understand what that has to do with Jared Anderson's situation. It's not even similar, not even close. Not even nothing. What's the comparison? Nobody cares what Regis says. People fall into that nonsense, but you're going by what someone said. Regis said this about Devin Haney. I like Regis better, therefore it's true, even though it didn't happen. And you're saying this after you got the result. You're still making this comparison after we seen Devin Haney go in and dismantle this guy. So I really don't understand the point. It makes zero sense. But bottom line, Efe versus Jarrett. There's no reason for that fight not to happen. Make that fight happen. It doesn't matter if you think Jarrett wins. It doesn't matter if you think Efe wins. The fight needs to happen. These guys need to start climbing the ladder. Okay? And that's how you do it. I have respectable names on my resume. So by the time I even open my mouth to say, hey, I want Anthony Joshua or, Usyk or Fury. Now, Usyk is getting up there too. Usyk is, he's older than Fury and Anthony Joshua and those guys, and you don't never know when the wear and tear is going to kick in, okay? But you have to put the work in. Jarrett Anderson is clearly trying to take a shortcut to get to big money fights. And if a championship comes along, then it comes along. But it's funny because these little sub belts that they don't have a problem holding the belt up in the air and wearing the belts, but yet you don't need to be champion to be validated. Okay, and that's his own words. So we need to see him step up. I'm not going all yeah, he's from America, rah, rah. Okay, cool, Jarrett. We pulling for you, brother. But you got to earn that shit. We're not going to just sit here and go, oh, yeah, he's American. He deserves. Well, what about Usyk? Usyk just came up. Yeah, I know. And I said the same thing. Usyk only had 2 fights. All of a sudden, he became mandatory. But he rose to the occasion. Lomachenko had just 2 fights when he fought Gary Russell. But he rose to the occasion. I'm not into this skipping the line stuff, but I know that it happens and it's going to continue to happen. But the thing about Jarrett Anderson that's different from everybody else that I just said, Lomachenko might be the only exception because he only had 2 pro fights. But if you was following him through the Olympics, you know that he had over 300-something fights or whatever, like had a whole lot of fights. But bottom line is, if you, with all those guys I just named, those guys, like Usyk was proven, even as a cruiserweight, coming up, he was dominant, undefeated, and he comes to heavyweight, and everybody was saying that he's not going to be able to compete with these big, strong guys. He's too small, blah, blah, blah. And I keep telling you guys, that's why I say when you guys talk about these heavyweights were way bigger than the Holyfields, and man, Holyfield was digging these guys' ass, all of them. Tyson was digging these guys' ass, all of them. Larry Holmes, Riddick Bowe, even though Riddick Bowe was a big dude, a prominent Lewis. This is a different generation. Y'all guys be lying to yourselves about who's a real good boxer and who isn't. A lot of y'all don't know shit. Y'all just be talking. But when y'all saying all of this shit, man, these guys were proven. So it's not like Usyk didn't accomplish much of shit at cruiserweight, then came to heavyweight, and all of a sudden was just in a shot. It was in the position that he was in. It was because of what he accomplished at cruiserweight, and he did fight at heavyweight before, and then he went to cruiserweight. Okay, but just saying, Jarrett Anderson has yet to prove anything for us to start talking like he's really that guy. Now, I have seen nothing that makes me say that he is. And if last night make you think, yeah, but say less. Say less. Because if you are making excuses for him, and you're telling yourself that he just had a bad night, he'll do better once he fights a better guy. Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see. He needs this fight. This guy that he just fought, like I said, was 2-3 steps down from fighting Charles Martin. And there's no reason that Jarrett Anderson should be fighting this type of opposition. Only reason he's fighting these type of opposition is because he doesn't want to, A, get hurt. 2, hoping that he is in a position where somebody will just throw him in there against the top guy for big money. And that's all it comes down to. Anytime you say, I can beat this guy right now, but you continue to fight low-tier guys, you make a comment like, I can beat Deontay right now, then you definitely need to be saying, I want Efe. I want Frank Sanchez. Jarrett doesn't do that. What Jarrett does is when someone asks him, would you fight Frank Sanchez, or would you fight this guy, that guy? Oh, definitely, absolutely. Oh yeah, hey man, we can get it on. We could. Okay, so if you care about nothing but money and belts don't mean nothing, why would it matter to you to fight top guys if the money's not all that great in the first place? So being a champion would solidify that, and you would be making top dollar. So that makes no sense. So it's like I said, he put limitations on himself, and he doesn't have the mindset, the heart, and the desire. Remember where you heard this shit from. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.